Well, after today, we still have 2 more games on our broadcast of football action coming your way. And next Friday night, it'll be Pine Grove, Reesville from Pine Grove. And next Saturday night from East West Stadium, the finale for the Fighting Falcons as they take on the... And it's been playing havoc in that handoff for the Polar Bears has been Gary Yost. Yost, the defensive end, gets in there about the same time Angeline starts handing that ball off. That one a loss, and it's 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Angeline is nailed as he flips it out to Delegati. Delegati across the 50, down to about the 48, and that's it. Tommy Lowe, Mike Sacchetti makes the stop. The Polar Bears, not too much luck with that running, and have been able to come up with a couple of good ones in their passing, but it's been all East thus far as they lead by 3 touchdowns at 20-0. We're playing the third quarter with exactly 4 minutes to go in the third period. Place the ball down at the 47-yard line of East. Angeline was sidelined right, open field left. Angeline will go to the air. The rush is on. Here comes Yost. He unloads, looking for Armstead. Incomplete. And that one is incomplete, and good defensive coverage on the Bees' part. Armstead up there looking for that one, and Angeline this afternoon has gone to the air 10 times. He's connected on only 3 out of 10, had 1 intercepted, and he has failed to connect on his last 5 attempts. And that will bring up a 4th and 7, and Dave Hanna comes in. Hanna will be punting the ball, and he will be looking into the sun. And back to receive will be Tommy Lowe, who scored 2 TDs this afternoon, standing at about his 16. Here's the snap. They fake it. He unloads it, and it's almost intercepted. They faked the punt. Hanna looking, and that one almost intercepted. So the Polar Bears try a little razzle-dazzle as they trail 20-0, and they come up with nothing. They give the Bees good field position.
6-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Bees.
Well, the ball now will be placed down at the 46-yard line. And a Polar Bear defense, which has had 3 TDs scored on them this afternoon, will go back in action. Dropping back, Stevie Smith, a sophomore. On the far side, Armstead, a senior. On the near side, Fetty, a sophomore. Here comes Sacchetti. Sacchetti running in to Doug Viafor, a junior. Viafor making the stop on Sacchetti after a gain of about short 1-yard line. Short 1. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain in the third period. Again, our score is East on top, leading 20-0. East-West game this afternoon coming your way live on WMMN 920 on your dial in Fairmont. We're beginning at 4:30 this afternoon, our musical scoreboard. Bumping once, Bissett. Very cool. Calm back there. Now they're after him. He's going to have to run. He runs across the 50 and into West territory and run out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it down. Billy Wicks running him out of bounds at about the 44-yard line of West. And the clock running with 2:45 remaining in the third period. East on top 20-0.
This is a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Well, Coach Joe Ross, who I said hasn't won since 1971, and that was a shutout at 28-0, has a shutout going right now at 20-0 in 1975. 2:20 remaining in the third period. Bissett gives this time to Boyles, and Boyles is nailed by Cleve Jackson. As he crosses the 45, he stops at the 44 of the line of scrimmage. Gary Boyles, the senior. And it's going to be first down for East. That's first down number 12. So the Bees have picked up a dozen this afternoon in their drive and leading 20-0. We near the 2-minute mark in the third quarter of action here at East West Stadium. And the Bees are currently shutting out the Polar Bears. Bissett to Sacchetti. Sacchetti with a nice move to the outside. He's across the 40 down inside about the 37-yard line.
Number 60, Doug Viafor, tackling Mike Sacchetti out of bounds.
And a minute and 45 clock running down. Jim Fetty running Sacchetti out of bounds here on the near side. They place it down now at the 37. Now back at the 38. Marking at the 38-yard line, and trotting into the West lineup comes James White, a junior. He replaces Tucker, who is a senior. And White will work the right corner, and that's where they've been running most of the afternoon. Here it comes, and this time it is Dave Shelton 6 foot 175 halfback, picking up the first down. He's down inside the 30. Steve Smith makes the stop. But the Bees move again against these Polar Bear defensive units. And the clock shows a minute 19, 20 to nothing. It's East leading West. Now the ball is placed down at 29-yard line. The Polar Bear 29. Bissett. The handoff, Shelton, and Shelton is leveled a little bit by James White. As he comes up to the line of scrimmage at the 29, and there'll be no gain, actually a loss of about a half yard on the play, very close to the 30. But they say second down and 10, no gain. And the clock shows 40 seconds. 40 seconds remaining. The third quarter with East now leading 20 to nothing. Our halftime score was 7 to nothing. So the third quarter, a big one for the East Bees here this afternoon. Dropping back, Bissett looking, unloading, and connecting to Mark Lockwood. Lockwood at the 25, spins his way down to about the 22. Doug Beafor grabs hold at the 25. Lockwood took him with him down to the 22-yard line, and it will be not enough for the first down. And the clock running down. We're under 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 20 to nothing. East on top and leading. At East West Stadium on a sun-filled afternoon at the end of 3 quarters of play. The score is East 20, West nothing. This word. Gets to go, and he hands off the ball carrier this time, Dave Shelton. So Tommy Lowe. Tommy Lowe, the ball carrier, very close to the first down. And let's see if they're going to call for measurement or just say it is first down. Doug Beafor made the stop. And I don't believe it's enough for the first down. That's going to bring up fourth. Now they're going to bring out the chain. They're going to bring out the chain. Well, it's not enough for the first down. It'll be 4th and inches to go for the East Bees at the Polar Bear 19-yard line. 11 minutes and 52 seconds remain in the game. Well, nobody this year, looking at the scores of the games that the Polar Bears have played, have shut out the Polar Bears. They've come close, but never have been shut out. But right now, they're being shut out at 20 to nothing. For the city championship, the Bees are in control. Pitch back, it comes to Sacchetti. Sacchetti has the first down. As again, they cut the corners. Jim Fetty was there to make the stop. And the Bees this afternoon have been sweeping those corners on the Polar Bears and getting their yardage. In fact, Tommy Lowe scored 2 touchdowns around the left end. 20 to nothing the score with 11 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 20 for the Bees inside the Polar Bear 20. Marking at the 17-yard line, the Polar Bear 17. Bissett keeping, cuts back in, and Bissett is in for a pretty good gain. James White makes the stop for Fairmont West. Dave Shelton comes in now into the East lineup. Gary Boyles will come out of there. A senior replacing a senior. Polar Bears this afternoon with 11 seniors on their roster, and the East Bees with 13. Gain of 3 for the quarterback Bissett. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Bees with 11 minutes remaining in the game. Bissett to Shelton. Shelton runs into trouble with the line of scrimmage, and there'll be very little gain, if any, on the play as Doug Beafor grabs hold along with Cleve Jackson to make the stop. Okay, coming in Steve Asa. And coming out there will be Gary Yost. Yost has played a whale of a game this afternoon, not only on defense, but in there on offense, but he's been sparkling a defense. Gain of 1 on that last play. 3rd down and 6, 10.5 remaining in the game. 20 to nothing. East leading West. Here comes Mike Sacchetti. Sacchetti cuts back in, and he'll be dropped at about the 10-yard line. Mike Sacchetti stopped on the play by Ron the Bull Pizzatella.
Stop on Mike Sacchetti of East.
Oh my, 10 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game, 20 to nothing. Shelton will come out of the lineup along with Atha in the B lineup. And the Polar Bears now will be facing a 4th and 4 on defense. And Bill Karofsky, who kicked for 3 last week against WI, will try one. This one will be from the 17, a 27-yard field goal is off to the left, and a penalty flag is on the play. And I think it will be against Fairmont West. It may be against the Polar Bears, and I think they had shuttling in and out of there. They had one too many on the field. And if that's going to be the case, East will come up with a first down. So Karofsky missed the field goal.
Against West Fairmont.
And now,
Gives the Bees a first down.
East will come up with a first and goal to go from the West 5. Well, they come up with a TD at this point, and you can put this one in the 1975 record book with still 9 minutes remaining. And you're going to have an offsides against the Polar Bears. Jeff Wise jumped off. Pizzatella made the stop.
Number 62, Pizzatella making the stop for West.
But it's going to be offsides, and that would give half the distance East. Put it down about 2.5 yard line, and that will be close enough for the Bees to punch another one across. They lay 20-0. Don't forget Bob Hank with our musical scoreboard at 4:30 this afternoon. Next Friday night, we'll bring you the Reesville Pine Grove game from Reesville. And Saturday night, we'll be back here at the stadium for the final game between Fairmont State and West Liberty. We have to take the ambassador of goodwill to Pine Grove with us. So that way we can get in. Here's Bissett, and giving off to Ketty. Ketty down very close to the goal line. Doug Viafor makes the stop. And it'll be second down and goal to go.
Number 60.
From about 1.5 yards out.
Stop on Ketty. Second down.
Second and goal to go from the 1, they say. East on top, leading 20-0. Well, the Bees break huddle, and out they come. Wide to the right is Mark Lockwood. He's picked up by Armstead. And the Bees are threatening to put their fourth one in, and they jump offside. The East Bees jumping offside. And I believe Cumpston on the right side jumping off. And that will put them back about 5. And that will make it second down and goal to go from the 6.
That puts the ball back on the 6-yard line, second and 6.
That is the first penalty of the afternoon, I believe, against Fairmont East. And it comes with only 9 minutes remaining in the ball game. And East enjoying that 20-0 lead. And like I said, in the past 10 years, we've only had 3 shutouts. 2 of those by the East Bees at 27-0, 28-0. West in 1970 had a 13-0 shutout. Right now it's 20-0. And the Bees set to go. They're going to try to pass for it. They're after Bissett. Bissett gets away from Wise at the 10, the 5, and down about the 1-yard line goes Ken Bissett.
Number 44.
Bissett almost made it in there, but Tony Armstead stopped him at about the 1.
About the 1-yard line.
And it'll be third and goal to go from the 1-yard line with 8 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the ball game. East leading 20-0. Well, it's been a long afternoon for the Polar Bears, and it's been an even longer season. They lose this one this afternoon. They'll finish up the 75 season with their lowest record in a long time, 3-7. Sacchetti, they say he's in the end zone, touchdown. So the Bees with the 4th touchdown of the afternoon, and it comes with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the game.
Polar Bears, nothing.
Sacchetti from the 1-yard line to make it a 26-0 ball game. Now Billy Karofsky, who is 2 for 3, will get set for his 4th attempt of the afternoon. They're going to fake it, go for 2. It's incomplete. And a penalty flag is down.
A 2-point attempt was incomplete.
Bissett, who holds for Karofsky, jumped up on that one. They tried to go for 2 and hitting Yost in the end zone, but it was short. And a penalty flag on the play will be against Fairmont East. And they will give them the penalty on the kickoff. So the score here in the 4th and final quarter is now East 26, West nothing. This Bessie. 32-yard line comes Albert York. He fumbles the ball, but it was blown dead at the 32. Tommy Lowe covering on the play. It's 26-0 the score.
Tommy Lowe of East Fairmont.
And that game Friday night will be coming from Pine Grove. I've never been to Pine Grove. I went in that neighborhood one night to Page City, and I didn't get to do but 1/2 of a ball game. Now, I'm not too excited about going to Pine Grove with the luck I've had in Wetzel County. But if I'm taking tail, it may be a little bit better. Dropping back, Angeline. Angeline unloads down the middle, and it's intercepted by Tommy Lowe. Lowe is going to go down to the 5 and run out of bounds to the far side. Well, it's been all East Fairmont in this 55th meeting, I tell you that. The Polar Bears, there's no doubt in anybody's mind, are being soundly defeated. Now they have been picked off. And Tommy Lowe, who has scored 2 touchdowns, takes the ball down to the 6-yard line.
The interception by number 30, Tommy Jovo, puts the ball.
And Paul Starr is gloomily sitting in the corner. Since he is a graduate of the blue and white. Well, it has to happen every once in a while, Paul. I'm sorry about that. Here goes Bissett, Sacchetti, and Sacchetti almost had his head tore off by Jim Tucker and Steve Smith. Sacchetti is inside the 5. They started from the 6. That one for a gain of 3 down to the, no, they say a gain of 4 down to the 2. So it's 2nd and goal to go for the East Bees, who have a 26-0 shutout going with 7.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. And they are threatening to break into the 30s. From the 4-yard line, Bissett, Sacchetti, and Sacchetti, same play, into the left side of the line.
And off again to number 20, Mike Sacchetti.
And Mike, this time I don't believe gained anything or lost. And they stopped him back at the line of scrimmage, mark it again at the 4. Jim Tucker, Doug Viafor made the stop on Sacchetti once again. Well, they're going to whoop it up tonight on the east side of the river. And Morgantown Avenue and Speedway and East Park will be loaded with horns about 4:30. Here goes Sacchetti, end zone, touchdown! Well, Mike Sacchetti has come on with his 2nd touchdown here in the 4th quarter to make it a 32-0 ball game. So the Bees adding more and more points and enjoying it this afternoon as it's 32-0 East. Boyles trotting quickly off the field for East. And set to go. Bissett holding. Karofsky will be kicking to make it 33. It's up there. It is good. And the score with 6 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the game is now East 33, West nothing.
It's a little bit better.
Okay, Billy Karofsky, and this one will come to the right and taken by Delegati. Delegati at the 20, and that's it. Tommy Lowe with a real good tackle at that spot at the 20-yard line on the sophomore Skeeter Delegati. It's 33-0 with 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the game. And this afternoon, the blue and gold.
Mountaineers are leading Penn State 14-10.
The blue and gold this afternoon are shining at East West Stadium. In the last 10 ball games, West has had a 1-game edge, but this is going to even things up this afternoon. Set to go, Rick Angeline. Angeline keeping and pitching on the late one to Robinson. Robinson spins off for 1, still going. Robinson has the first down. Willie Robinson with the first down.
24, Willie Robinson on the move for the West Fairmont Polar Bears. He was stopped by number 6.
Brad Six. How's this for size? 5'11", 258-pound junior. That's first down number 7 this afternoon for the Polar Bears, who are on the 33-0 tail end of an East-West game with 6 minutes remaining in the game. Coming wide left will be Keith Davis. Angeline dropping back. Yost is after him. Angeline unloads down the middle and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 21.
Intended for Horton, and a penalty flag is down.
Run on the play.
And it's going to be against Fairmont East. And I don't know who got a hand on Angeline, but that's who the penalty went on. It may have been Mark Lockwood, the defensive end. Gary Yost is the other defensive end. And it'll be first down, Fairmont West, with 5:55 remaining in the ball game. The ball will be placed down at the 45-yard line of West.
Foul called against East Fairmont. First and 10 for the Polar Bears.
45-yard line as the Polar Bears come out of the huddle. They trail 33-0. 5:55 left in the game on a first and 10 for West. Sideline right, open field left for Angeline. Dropping back is Rick. He rushes on. He unloads it to Delegati. Delegati with running blockers out front is up to the 46. That one for a gain of 5. Ed Kanos makes the stop after Delegati makes a gain of 5 on the pass play. Second down and 5 coming up. They mark the ball down
on the West Virginia Mountaineers score
at the 49-yard line of East.
24-13.
Well, I don't know if that was a final, but West Virginia, they gave us a score of 24-13. I believe it is a final. They may be playing in the fourth quarter. Main thing, they're winning. 33-0. Angeline. And Angeline gets a good crack from Lockwood as he unloads. And it's incomplete, intended for Armstead. And Angeline may not get up from that one. Mark Lockwood came in from the blind side and really gave Angeline some kind of crack. And he comes up. But he lay there for a while. And he may come out of the lineup as Bucky Davis is coming in to replace him. Bucky Davis, a junior, will come in to replace senior Rick Angeline as Dr. Jack Morgan quickly came on the field and walks off to the far side with Rick Angeline. He had his bell rung real good. It's 3rd and 5 with 5:08 remaining in the ball game. 33-0 East. Bucky Davis keeping. Bucky runs into the right side and gains about 1 yard. That is it. Harry Compston and Randy Bunner, who have been teaming up all afternoon, make the stop for this fine East defensive unit.
Stop on quarterback Bucky Davis. 4th down and 4 for the West Fairmont Polar Bears.
33-0 the score. Well, Pete, next year when you get ready for the East-West game and you want to put some coin on a possible winner, you just bet on the team that's got the better record. With your luck, you'll lose. 4.5 minutes remaining in the game, and East with the better record now leading 33-0. They came in 6-3. The West Polar Bears 3-6. Bucky Davis in at quarterback, hands off to Delegati. Delegati is dropped shy of the 45-yard line, and dropping him was Harry Compston.
Running the ball for the Polar Bears.
And the clock is stopped with 4:18.
Randy Bunner of East making
And it will be 4th and less than a yard to go for the first for the Polar Bears, who may call for a measurement. Well, after today, we still have 2 more games on our broadcast of football action coming your way. And next Friday night, it'll be Pine Grove, Reesville from Pine Grove. And next Saturday night from East West Stadium, the finale for the Fighting Falcons as they take on the Hilltoppers of West Liberty.
from the 45-yard line.
Well, the Polar Bears did not pick up the first down. They'll give up the ball to the Fairmont East Bees. And the score is 33-0. The Bees have led since the second quarter. After we battled to a scoreless first quarter, have come on and now lead 33-0. And Coach Joe Ross wanted this one in the worst way this afternoon. I tell you what, if you had a football team, players that have the desire of Coach Joe Ross, you'd go undefeated every year. 33-0, and Joe Ross's Bees are leading right now over the Polar Bears of Bob D. and company. Set to go, a new quarterback is in there. And now in the East lineup at quarterback would be Ottmeal. Ron Pizzatella and Wise making the stop. Ottmeal is in there now at quarterback for the Bees with 3 minutes and 40 seconds. No, Joe Nanny. Nanai, a sophomore, in at quarterback. Joe Nanai. Program says Ottmeal's wearing number 10, but we had him down at 32. So with 3.5 minutes, it doesn't really mean anything right now. 33-0, East is leading. And Joe Ross has substituted just about everybody on the front line. Coming in now will be Jerry Hall, a sophomore. Billy Wicks, a junior, making the stop for the Polar Bears. Coming out of the lineup, Brad Swanker was in there for the East Bees. Also in there on the front line, Mark Murphy, a junior, playing at one of the end positions, replacing Steve Atha. Joe Nanai in at quarterback. In the backfield, Jerry Hall, one of the running backs. And the handoff this time, I believe, to Gary Boyle, a senior. And now the defensive unit comes in for the Bees with 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the 55th meeting here at East West Stadium. between East and West.
Situation.
Well, the Bees have something to celebrate tonight because they haven't won this one since 1971. And that was the first year for Joe Ross, and now he has a 33-0 shutout, and the Polar Bears haven't been shut out all year. Here's the kick by Karofsky, the punt, and it's a high one, and it'll bounce out of bounds about the Polar Bear 30. And the clock shows 2:18. We'll have a complete wrap-up giving you all the scoring, and it's been all Fairmont East here this afternoon at East West Stadium. 2:18 remaining in the fourth and final quarter, and now some of the fans trying to avoid a traffic rush will get out of here and try to get a jump. It happens at Three Rivers all the time, Pete. I just started to say that. Pete avoids the rush. By the time he gets ready to come home, there's nobody on the street. Here comes Mr. Robinson. Robinson in the secondary and a quick burst of speed. He's a senior. Did not play last year. Willie Robinson, a senior running back for the Polar Bears, and the clock is down to 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining in this one, and when it is all over, I'm not going to say a word. You can just listen to these fans out in front of us because I think they'll start counting it down any time. 33-0. What was that remark, Paul, you made towards me? I haven't said a word about all afternoon where I graduated from, and I won't. 33-0. Bucky Davis rolling right, looking, unloads, and looking for Hanna. It's over his head. Dave Hanna. No, Greg Gross, excuse me. Greg Gross.
For the Polar Bears.
I don't know what Pell and Star are conversing about back here. Something. You want to get on an open mic and say that? You'd rather not. There's one right to your right if you'd like to make a comment. Don't say nothing about Fairmont East. You got to go home tonight, Mr. Pell.
He just said that it's amazing to him that you graduated at all.
Well, I did in 1960, the same time as Mrs. Pell graduated. I like them bananas. Minute and a half remaining in the ball game with East on top leading 33-0.
John Delegati.
You can see who I was supporting this afternoon.
4th and 4.
Dan Devine and the boys. 33-0. The clock stopped with a minute and 14, and the East Bees are going to take home the 1975 city championship in the East-West game, and they did it soundly. 33-0 with a fine defensive unit and a fine offensive unit of Ken Bissett, their senior, who is 6'1", and some fine running by Tommy Lowe. Here's the Polar Bears, and passing down the middle was Bucky Davis looking for Keith Davis, and it's incomplete. Clock shows 54 seconds remaining. Well, looking at the West roster, they're going to finish up 3-7, and next year, well, losing from this year's squad, Keith Davis, Cleve Jackson, Jim Tucker, Ron the Bull Pizzatella, a fine athlete. Doug Beafor will be back next year at right guard. Dave Whiteman graduating. Tim Rice graduating. Papa Horton will be gone this year. Rick Angeline, the quarterback, will be gone. In the backfield, Albert York, Willie Robinson, and Tony Armstead from defense will be gone for these Polar Bears, who have had a long, long season. And they're 48 seconds away from winding up 3-7. But for the Bees, a very good year. And they had a winning season coming into the game today with a 6-3. And they're going to finish up 7-3 for Coach Joe Ross. And their finest record in a long time at Fairmont East. And I think the finest one since Joe took over in 71. And they win it here this afternoon with only 27 seconds remaining. Some of their seniors this afternoon, Gary Yost, Mike Hawkins, Randy Bunner, Jeff Noshel at center, Billy Martin, who was injured in the first quarter, Jeff Zikovic, a senior, Mark Lockwood, Roger Wilson, Kenny Bissett, their quarterback, Mike Sacchetti, Dave Shelton, Gary Boyle, Mike Nickelmeyer, Mark Servo will be back next year. And you can listen now to these fans in the final 3 seconds.
There's the final score. The East Fairmont Bees 33, the West Fairmont Polar Bears nothing.
Well, that tells the story from East West Stadium this afternoon. The Polar Bears are shut out for the first time this year in their final ball game and shut out by Mighty Fine Ball Club, the Fairmont East Bees. The game this afternoon was brought to you in combined sponsorship by the full-service City National Bank at 120 Fairmont Avenue in Fairmont, by Hills Department Stores in the Fair Hills Plaza, Bellevue Boulevard, open 10 to 10 daily. Other Hill stores in Clarksburg and in Morgantown. That final score once again, East 33, West nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute with today's wrap-up.
For all sports, you need the right equipment. And for all...
All right. Say something.
Not quite yet. Yet.
You not ready?
Okay.
What are you going to say, Leslie? Say hi, Daddy. Say hi, Daddy.
The extra deep track.